All right, Mrs. Ye, do we want to start on time or do we want to wait for a couple more minutes? But I record the section. So whoever joining late, I think we can put a place where they can check the video. Hi, Mrs. Chang.
Hi.
Mrs. Ye, we can hear you. Your microphone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mrs. Ye, we can hear you. Mrs. Ye, can you hear us?
Okay, where's the page?
But we can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear Mrs. Ye?
No.
No, no, I can't.
No. Then where's the page? 不给看了，妈没弟弟，弟弟就这样给你看。
You guys hear me?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you now.
Okay, so it's okay. I just won't use the headphones. I was using the headphones. I just unplugged it, so it's good. A lot of the parents, actually, I know the students, and I might see the parents. So let's see, Elvis, I know, right? Mrs. Chung, who's your child?
Caleb Chung.
Kayla. Okay, so I've spoken to you too then. So I've spoken, I just didn't see your face. I didn't FaceTime you that time.
Yeah.
Okay, good to see you. Good to see you. And then let's see, Sandra. Okay. Now some of the parents, they're a little bit more shy, so they I told them that not to show their face. But I'm glad you guys were able to join us all. I'm still talking. My name is Mrs. Ye. I do the upper elementary kids, and I feel blessed to be with the upper elementary. And then Dr. Wu, do you want to introduce yourself, and then James, and just so that they know who all the some of.
I'm the administrator in the office. How's that? I do everything here.
Renaissance woman, Renaissance.
And I'm the lower elementary teacher. My name is James.
I'm Mr. Barry. Am I supposed? Yes. I am the assistant elementary school teacher.
So a lot of the teachers, we won't have more than 10 kids per class, but we do have teachers that come in and help. So when we do reading groups, math, we do not want to keep the kids clustered together, and they need to all learn at their level. So we do bring in additional teachers to help out with that. So you might see, even though James is a primary teacher for your student, there might be times where other teachers will come up under him. They're still have a degree and they're still a teacher, but they'll help out so that the students are in smaller groups for reading and writing and math.
All right. So do we start from? Okay. All right. So Mrs. Ye. Let me know if. Okay. Let me know when you want to go to the next page.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, I don't see the page. Are you sharing it?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for reminding. No wonder.
Okay. The kids remind me all the time. We are so glad that you're able to join. It's just going to be an introduction. We are located in Pomona. We actually just moved to this location. It's a beautiful location. I know Jane's seen it. I don't know if any of the other teachers or not teachers, other parents have seen it. But what we do is we focus on small class sizes. We focus on doing a PLP plan. So every child, even though they're in a small class already with 10, they're still at different levels. So whether it's in reading, whether it's in writing or math, we try to personalize everybody's learning program. And so we do offer PLP plans for every student. They are all assessed in math, reading, writing, decoding. When you guys join our program and we do our open house, we will be more thorough on what assessments the kids take. But we go to the point that even if you're in 3rd grade and you're reading at a 4th grade level for that subject, we will pull you up or we'll pull you down. We try to do that the best we can this summer. But obviously with the population, the amount of kids we had, and there's only the 2 staff, we just separate them upper level, lower level. But during the school year, their curriculum will match their specific level. We have had some kids who start out at a lower level and they bump up so quick, especially in those beginning kinder, first, second grade years. And so we will mid-year, if they're like at level, we don't mind throughout the year. And so we usually meet about 3 times with the parents to review what curriculum is best for them. Ooh, someone's playing violin. Hannah, I'm thinking. No, Jen. Somebody's playing violin though, but it's okay. So that's what we do. And so if anyone has any questions, raise your hands. I'm trying to look at the teachers and the parents as I talk. But since I don't see everyone, Shar, oh, Shar, hi. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat or just interrupt me. But for this page, we are distant learning. Let me tell you, actually, I need to go over this a little more too. Distant learning was scary, especially for James and I in the beginning, because we've never done distant learning before other than maybe teaching English overseas. But I feel like Orion's really grasped the concept of distant learning. And we know that some kids need more attention, some kids need less attention. So we're really modified our program so that if your child could only handle 4 hours, we can give them only 4 hours of instruction. But we are also offering our music appreciation, tutoring sessions, and then we also pull in classes like comprehension, reading groups to gear towards those students who need that little extra. And so I feel like, you know, kids being in front of a computer all day, some kids can't do it, but we offer project-based for some of those kids that can't do it, where they're still doing our curriculum, they're still learning the state standards, but they don't have to be in front of the computer for it. Same as, you know, we give books to some of our students. Some kids rather do it digitally because they just get it done and they move on. Some kids, they need the paper, so they'll receive the physical book, and then the teacher will be able to grade it. And so they get the same curriculum, but the program will be modified, even though it is virtual learning. For parents who are working, sometimes this becomes a blessing to them because we're able to kind of watch the child learn, where the parents don't have the time to be able to sit by their child and teach the child. So I think virtual learning. Now we're on to schedules. No staggered schedules, full day, Monday through Friday, yeah. And so, like I did say though, what we do is we understand my kids in the fall, not one kid needed modification. They were there full day from 8:30 to 3, and they were all fine with it. But we do understand that some kids cannot do that. And so we have allowed it where in the first, 4 hours, they're gonna get the core curriculum, which is English, math, history, and science. But at the end of the day, so instead of staying till 3:30, we'll be doing our Chinese, and we'll be doing a tutor session so that it could be more personal, and just those kids that need to be on the computer longer will get that attention, that more one-on-one attention. And the students who whiz by doing their work, the older students who don't need the guidance as much from the teacher, they could do that independently so that their screen time is minimal. And we are doing 2 forms of projects where an example of the kids who have to do a newspaper article, they can write that newspaper article and do that on physical paper, or they could do it on PowerPoint or Word. So that they're not, it's more of a family choice if they want how much computer time they get. So, and it's flexible. Look at the last one, flexible schedules. Parents have the options to only enrolling in the core classes, or if they need that extensive work like a tutor or one-on-one, they can kind of pull that in. And us as teachers will be available to all of our students for that. Okay, we're K through 5. Well, our school goes to high school. A lot of our students, obviously, they go through college. They go to college afterwards, and we'll even support them even then. But we do believe this is one journey that we take together. We start them off as young as TK, and we follow them through. Our goal is for them to go to the best university that they can go. Obviously, we shoot for the Ivy schools and the UCs, but every child's going to be different, and they will go to the best school that they can under Orion guidance. But not only do we try to teach them to be good academically, we really try to guide them as being good people, giving back to the community, helping out the community. I know the high school students, they do missionary trips and they go out to help make orphanages, help build schools. And so we want to make a well-rounded person, not just somebody who goes there, they get the good grades, they get into we want them to make a difference. We want leaders. We don't want kids that are going to be following mainstream and just doing what everybody else does. We want them to be independent. So I know our first, second, third graders, in the beginning, it is difficult for some of our students, but we want them to be independent. We want them to learn how to teach themselves, to be leaders, and ultimately take over the world. I know it sounds bad to say it that way, but we think that sometimes we think, oh, we'll start in 9th grade, we'll start in 8th grade, we'll start junior high and high school. It's very important for them to have a strong foundation. And so we try to give them that strong foundation so that any course they want to take in the future, they're ready for. Kindergarten, this I'm not going to spend too much time to go through. Kindergartens have to learn a lot, and we're going to see the most growth. So one of my favorite years to teach is the little kids. And everyone knows me, even though I'm with the older kids now, and I love the older kids, the little kids just have my heart. So kindergarten is when they learn how to read, when they learn how to write, when they learn like, wow, I can do something. And so kindergarten years are just learning the foundations. A lot of it's repetitive. And as a parent, you're going to be thinking, especially like Elvis, why are you making me do this every day, Mom? Why are you making me do this every day, Mr. James? The foundation is so important, the fundamentals. When I have my class, and I know James follows the same lead, or I follow the same lead as him, is they're writing their alphabet every day. We care about their penmanship. We care that they know the foundations, so that when they're learning to count by their 2s and their 5s and their 10s, they're not struggling. And it makes it easier for when they go into those upper years. So if you have a kindergartner, look at this sheet, screenshot it, get your phone right now and say, chicka, chicka, chicka. And these are just the basic things. In kindergarten, they'll be learning how to write, their letters, their sounds. They're going to be adding, subtracting, counting by 2s, 5s, and 10s. And then we do obviously supply history and social studies for them. They do a lot of projects based on that. We have Generation Genius, which gives hands-on projects for that. And so feel free to look at that, but your kids will go through that. And we try to make it where each kid could go at their pace. So if they're passing this level and they're surpassing the tests, we don't mind moving them up quicker. So age to us is just an age, but again, we try to focus on teaching them at their level. So we could go on to, actually this one is just different things we do. Projects we do, hands-on, especially for the little kids, crafts, arts, whether they're doing it virtual or not virtual, these are things that are important for them, for their fine motors, their gross motor skills, their thinking skills. So sometimes you'll be like, they're doing art again. It's very important for them. When they're learning how to cut their scissors, they need those fine motors, because later on they're going to be playing the piano for us, right? So these are things that they're going to do. It's fun, and they retain the information more. So now we're going to go to first grade. First grade is going to be duplicating based on what they learned, right? They're learning the foundations in kindergarten. Now we're going to comprehend it. Now they're learning their sounds, and you're going to see them. The, at, cat. First grade is when we're trying to get our kids into reading chapter books. I think all of our kids, except for one, is reading chapter books this year in first grade. No, those are our kindergartners were reading chapter books. So if your kid's going to first grade, know that we're going to be pushing them. We're not pushing them to be sad. We're pushing them to read and love reading and enjoy reading. And so we do have reading programs. Some of you guys know Mrs. Tammy. We love kids to read, and we love kids to want to read. And so doesn't matter your level, there's a book for every level, even if you only know your alphabet, right? And so therefore, we push reading. But when they go into first grade, they're going to be writing. They need to learn how to use a capital letter, a period at the end, place value. We're going to introduce money to them, shapes, punctuation, sentences, comprehension. And so you can read through this, take your picture if you need to, but we can send you the state standards. And so this is what we do for our first graders. It's all, you can change screens, Dr. Wu, but it's very important. Remember those hands-on projects that we do, the art, it's very important at these young ages for them to be able to be creative and do something with something physical, not just writing all the time and paperwork. So we can skip that. Oh, 3 concepts. You guys get it. Second grade. Okay, I changed my mind. See, every grade I go into, I remember teaching. second grade is so cute. We have the kids that surpass some kids, and then the kids that, you know what? Some kids, it takes them a time to learn how to do the reading and the writing and the comprehension. And so some of our kids get it right away in kinder and first grade. A lot of our kids, especially at the school sites, right? If they come from the public school, they get it in second grade. So second grade, we expect them to write paragraphs now, and they're learning how to, they're usually just learning how to do their first like Judy B. Jones book or, you know, maybe Judy Blume book. And there's a whole bunch of series out there, but this
Magic
is
Treehouse.
Magic Treehouse. So this is where they're going to take their adding and subtracting skills, and they're going to magnify it. They're going to learn, they're going to start skip counting, getting ready for multiplication. It's an exciting year, actually. Second grade is a good grade too. They're all good grades, never mind. But yeah, you could skip to that. These kids, they think they're getting more mature, and they are getting more mature, but these kids still need to be able to use manipulatives, be able to use hands-on. They still need art and story. They still need a lot of guidance. And so that's what they need right now. Compare, contrast activities, games. They still learn through game, hands-on and fun. Actually, it's more, they need hands-on, fun, songs, music to be able to get engaged with stuff. Then we're gonna go to third grade. Third grade's a little bit of a tipping point. Their standards become higher. We need to prep them for the upper classes. So though we guide them, now we're guiding them to teach themselves versus the kinder, first, second, it's have fun, have fun, have fun. Let me show you, let me show you, let me show you. Third grade, no, now you're gonna be showing me you can do it. And so they learn a lot more. They're gonna do place values, fractions are introduced, divisions introduced. We need to go more into depth with our reading. We need to get their point of view. Anyone who took my comprehension test or comprehension class this time knows going back to the text. And so it's more critical thinking skills at this point. They need to start using what they've obtained the last couple years and start using critical thinking skills at this point. It's just more into depth. They need to start liking the books a little more than playtime. Though we encourage playtime, creative play, creative projects, feel free to take your phone and you can take a picture of the screen if you want to, or we can send you a copy you know, of this after. And this is just basic, so we can go in and give you all the standards if you want that too. Ways we do it, projects. We like projects because it lets them use their own creative mind to do the work, but they're getting guidance from us still. Current events is very important. Opinion, cause and effect. I only wrote down a couple on mine. I know James wrote down a couple on his, but they learn a lot. So this is, graphic organizers. This is when they're gonna take one idea and they're gonna start writing. In third grade, they should be writing like 3 to 5 paragraphs, which means they have to take all those thoughts in their minds, put it in an organizer, and be able to know how to divide up their paragraphs to write decent paragraphs. So this is the age they start in. Next, we go on to fourth grade. We want our fourth graders to be independent. I know we have, I think Brian, he's going to fifth grade, but our fourth graders is when we start pushing. They need to not only learn everything for that year, we need to review everything from the years before. So nouns, pronouns, adjectives. If they forgot any of those weak links, we need to make sure they know it. Actually, in third grade, we do that too. But fourth grade is when they have to do it independently. They are upper graders, and we start trying to put on them the responsibility. It's your job now to succeed and make yourself succeed. It's your job to want to make a difference in the world. It's your job to want to give back. So we lead by example in those younger years, and now we're pushing them out to be independent with our support. And fourth grade, I know I said that for third grade, but fourth grade, it's more we're looking for that complete independence. So by fifth grade, and you could see here, they learn a lot more in math, you know, but verbal projects they're going to be doing. You can read it all, but it's a lot. They learn a lot more in math, social studies, and science. More critical thinking. We're already expanding that from third grade. And so now it's saying they're going to be independent doing it. These are different things. It's going to be similar, but it's, you know, outside the box example. So you could go on to the next one. This is just how we implement it, how we teach it. So, and then fifth grade, they're getting ready for junior high, and we want our junior high kids to be prepared. We don't want them asking, when they're in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we don't want them asking mom, what's my homework tonight? We don't want them asking mom, I need a printout. I couldn't do my homework because my mama was cooking and she was at work. At this age, we're setting them up to be completely independent so that when they're in junior high, they know to take notes. They know what the expectation is to be the best, and they're already driven to do what's best. We're actually not going to talk about our junior high and high school here, but remember, all of these things, it's a growing process. It's like going up the steps. And you can't miss one step, because if you miss one step, you might trip. And so we really do, every year is very essential to our kids, because they start off completely dependent on us, completely just, they know they're going to learn, and we put them in school, but it's our job to teach them the importance of learning and to have fun while learning, and learn that this is the expectation for you, and they can do, all kids can do big things. All kids can do big things. And some kids do struggle in reading and writing or math, and it's our job to be supportive so that they can be the best kid they can be. But ultimately, when they're leaving my class, I'm gonna be so sad if, when the kids move on, ultimately it's for them to be the best person they can be, to give back, to be fair, to know the difference of right and wrong, to be able to be an independent thinker, and to be able to say, hey, you know what, this doesn't make sense, this does make sense, to know their weaknesses. It's very important that kids know their weaknesses and to know their strengths, and to know that they're valuable and they're important and special. So we really, these beginning years are very important for the kids. And so we really do try to go into making them complete academically and as a person. And so, I feel blessed that you guys, even, being here in the meeting, and I know there's a lot of options for academics, but I do feel blessed to be able to be a part of the kids, even if it's just for the summertime. We would love for your kids to join our program, but I do really feel blessed for all of our kids, even if it's just for summer program or whatnot, that we get to imprint ourselves on them, and just be one of those positive people in their lives to make a difference. So, and yeah, they all do science experiments. Then we want them to win too at that. Sorry, we have high expectations because we compete with the junior high. So concepts, yeah, we do science experiments. We do a lot of projects. Venn diagram. The Venn diagram is just like the circles like this. So kind of like what I talked about in the 3rd grade, where they're going to start writing their ideas down. That's what it is. If you guys know what a Venn diagram is, then you've done it probably in high school and college and elementary. So this is one we can skip. Committed teachers. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna let James take over, because I can make this meeting 5 hours. Sorry, James, I should have let you do the lower graders, since that's you're teaching that. Sorry, James. Did I make James fall asleep?
No. I'm here.
Play.
So for this slide, let me see. Yeah, so our teachers, we meet often and we share ideas, and we're always looking to progress and make sure that we are offering the best that we can as well. And so even over the summer, I've learned a ton from Miss Ye and from Dr. Wu, and they've been sharing a lot of.
Yeah, vice versa. We learn a lot from.
Yeah, so we're always looking to grow ourselves, also the kids, of course, but ourselves and our own program too, so that the kids can gain the most from it. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say about that one.
And we will keep looking into how, this is new for us as teachers too. And we know that the education is important. So like, we know off the bat, hey, 8 hours or 6 hours might be too long for some kids. We also know that sometimes 6 hours isn't enough when it's virtual. And so learning, we've been taking classes, we've been going on to the K through 12, we take classes online, and we collaborate with all different teachers, not just from our school, but we actually collaborate with teachers from all around. I know James is setting up a Canvas for the younger kids. A lot of people are like, no, those elementary kids can't use Canvas. Like, no, and you know what, James is like, yes, they can. Don't underestimate it. If it's too hard, we'll alter it and we'll make it better for the kids. Even me, when I use Discord, I'm like, oh, how are we gonna do this online? But you know what, those kids, and Jane and Ryan, I'm gonna point you guys out because you guys were in my class this summer. Those kids navigated better than me. I'm like, where am I at? They're like, oh, it's under reading. And so they actually learn much quicker. And so like technology wise, whether it's virtual or not, you know, we won't stop teaching ourselves so that your kids can have the best.
One thing I like to add is Orion, not just teachers, we want students and parents to feel joining Orion is like coming to a small family. Our teachers, they do more than what public, no, I don't want to say things about other people, just talk about Orion us. Our teachers do more than what they're supposed to do for our students. If you were in our summer program, you learned Mrs. Ye organized movie time at 9. And then Saturday, you also have, what do you have on Saturday, Mrs. Ye?
We just did game day and we kept with the TV show Avatar. Right now, the kids are into Minecraft and Roblox. And it seems like a lot of kids, they're not going out, so they need something to do. So we did try to do an Uno night a couple times, but not many of these kids showed up. But we did Uno, we did chess, we did art. So like the kids would pop on and they would do an art thing. I used YouTube because I'm not.
We have our Minecraft server.
We did the Minecraft server. Not only that, like, you know, when they did the rocket ship launch, we had a big party and the kids actually got badges. Some of the kids that were in the Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts, but we actually, because we're in Cub Scouts, we just hosted it for everyone. And so we were able to watch a movie with Mr. Kazarian and then leave his to watch the rocket launch, because, you know, it's something that's happening, current events, even the coronavirus, it's happening, it's history. Oh, look at, see, Miss Tammy has hers right there. This is stuff that's happening real time for our students. These are things that they're going to go back and be like, wow, we lived through the coronavirus. Wow, we lived through a funky election that's coming up in November. Wow, we saw the rocket launch. Oh, wow, it wasn't Boeing. You know, and so these are big things that kids should know about, and they're involved in real time. So we do try to open up the platforms for that. But we do that more, you know why? Because we care about the kids' emotional well-being. And we
exactly, Mrs. Ye, that's what I was going to bring up to parents. You know, 2 weeks after we turned online, Mrs. Ye came to me and say, hey, Dr. Wu, you know what? We need to do something after school hours. We need to connect the students. We need to let them feel socially, emotionally comfortable when they are at home. We don't want kids to play video game the whole day, the whole night. So let's do something meaningful for the kids. So I think that's why I'm proud that our teachers, they do spend extra hours and time trying to make sure your kids are not alone at home. We also want to bring them up, bring them together even after school hour.
Yeah, they become kind of like, we're not their moms, but they become important to us. And so like, obviously, like even Hannah's there, and we love that the kids come, and we understand that, you know what, some kids are too busy to come. And they have dance class, they're out socializing, they're playing karate. But for some kids that are quarantined all day, even just seeing 4 other people watching Avatar, they get happy. To be honest, like yesterday, I didn't want to watch Avatar. And so I turned it on, I muted it, and then I turned on The Office. I'm sorry, that's a naughty show. I've never watched it. It's funny though, but nevertheless, the kids can see me, you know, but I feel like it's good that even the kids just see each other and check in with each other. We keep the Zoom open for them. I mean, I've seen kids on there, like, this sounds bad, but I've seen some kids on there at like 11 o'clock at night playing Minecraft. And I'm like, I get a ding on my phone, ding, and I'm like, oh, I'm going back to sleep. But it's good because, you know what, kids are alone right now a lot, and they don't want to only socialize with family. And so like, I feel bad for those younger kids. It's your kids, James, because I know Elvis, I'm looking at Elvis and they're like, another show. And I'm like, those parents are going to be texting me up because it's bedtime. It's bedtime. And I'm going to be like, maybe one more, maybe not one more. Can we have a vote? And so, but I do feel blessed to be part of their lives. And if we can make them happier in any way, that's it's not our job. It's something it becomes part of us, right? So, yeah. So more about our academics. There you go.
Okay, so I would like to bring up the advantage of attending Orion in the fall. I understand many parents, particularly if you live far away from Pomona, you don't think, hey, Orion, too far for me. But we want, during this time, we know you're homeschool, probably because so many students, you probably will only have 2 days live instruction. If your school offer a daily live instruction, maybe just a couple hours or only half day. But then again, public school, they have a lot of students in a class, and we, Orion here, just want to be here to help you. Orion started with a mission to help students to get better, to help the student to become the leader in the future. In the class, in the beginning, we say very clearly, we don't want big class size. We only want a small group students, and then we want them to learn well. We want the student to get full attention from teachers. We want to educate them well. So during this time, if you still like, okay, sounds good, small class size sounds good, but I'm still not sure if this is good for me. Another advantage attending Orion now is if you are thinking, no, I still want to stick with my homeschool and just hire a tutor, if fee money is an issue for you, then again, try to take advantage from Orion now, because we are here to help you. We understand economic is bad now. Many parents also lose part of the job or lose jobs. We are here to help you because we understand children's education is very important. If they have good education, when they grow up, they help more people. We want to help you and your children. In the future, your children can help us. So that's
Dr. Wu. Okay, perfect. I think something is happening with the mic. Okay, perfect. Okay.
And then lastly, if you still, so I am going to make tuition affordable to you. And finally, if you still have concern like, I'm not sure if Orion is good for my children. Again, Orion is a private school. Private school, it's flexible. You transfer in and out. It's flexible. After one semester, your public school open in person. At that time, coronavirus is under control. Return to your home school. Fine, but at least this fall, your children's education is, at least they are very.
Dr. Wu,
Yes.
Wu, I'm so sorry, but your mic is kind of muffled. I'm not, okay, perfect. I know it's for other parents too, because I see them. Okay, try talking again. Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. Maybe my internet quality is not good now.
I feel a little, it's like echoey.
It's your quality is good. Do you want to help me to convey to parents what we are trying to let them know?
So right now we know that everybody's situation is different, and our tuition, we know that some parents worry is too much screen time, too much. Actually, I'm sorry, Dr. Wu, can I ask the parents, what are some of your guys' concerns, like going into a new fall year, whether it's at Orion or at a public school? What are some of your guys' concerns? So that we can, as educators, we can tell you guys our ends, like what our struggles were, full day, not full day, tuition, not tuition. But what are some of your guys' concerns going into this year? Does anyone, or maybe nobody has concerns, maybe it's just me. Jeff, are you trying to talk? Are you trying to, no, okay, that was just, oh.
Yeah, I have a question. So I want to make sure the technology component, when the courses are delivered to the students, is strong enough to handle the workload. So could you elaborate a bit on that?
Okay, can you ask one more time?
Sure. So I just want to make sure that the technology component, when the courses are delivered to the students, I want the aspect to be strong and organized enough to handle your workload. So could you maybe elaborate on that a little bit?
Okay, James, do you want to answer first and then I can answer after?
I'm sorry, I was having a hard time hearing.
So what he's asking is, with our technology, tell me if I'm wrong, Jeff, is it once we have the assignments, if it's going to be too much of a course load because we're doing virtual?
It's kind of that as well, but I also want to emphasize that when the teachers deliver the courses in a virtual format, that
Okay.
I want that technology component to be strong and organized enough so that the teachers and the parents and the students, they're all on the same page as to what the students need to do.
I get it. Okay, Barry, do you want to answer it? I get what he's saying.
Am I able to share screen or not right now?
Let me stop sharing. Okay, please.
Okay, let's see if I can share screen. So we use I need either host or permission to do it, and it may may not even be the best time right now. I'm sorry, but so we use a couple of technologies to facilitate that. One thing. Oh, here we go. Great. If you look at my my screen, one tool that we use to help us is Discord. At least the elementary school. This is what we use for our summer program. We write all of the well, first we invite the students to join, and it's a very secure place. Only people with invite codes are allowed in our chat, and once they're in, then we give them a role, and you can only talk in the chats and etc. while you have a role, right? So we have the teachers and students in this chat. The students can chat amongst themselves, and we can also relay information here. When we have different sections for each of the types of classes, such as reading, math, writing, and us teachers can very easily add new text channels there to write notes and assignment information. So for example, I taught coding last time, so I would write my coding lessons here with the notes and pictures of the instruction. Let's look for some more examples.
Actually, go to reading too, because if you go to intermediate reading and upper reading, and we were able to do up levels.
Reading.
Yeah, this is where the kids would post the work, and then above that, can you click beginning or intermediate reading? And I know, James, you kind of follow the same pattern, but you can see.
And here's the assignments.
Yeah, all of the assignments were printed out right here. So the kids knew exactly what they were doing day by day. And we would just do one, the other. We'd post videos with it. If you go under the math too, we're also actually, because again, we're not going to stop growing. This is what's worked for us for the fall. And this is possibly something we're going to keep because it's been successful. But we also do something called Canvas. I can't share my Canvas now, but Canvas is going to be another forum like this. And it's going to be separated by subjects, kids access, homework, assignments. And so we're going to have the two platforms, kind of like we use Zoom also. Zoom seems like it's been working pretty well with us. And so getting the information to the child, the children learn quick. And so they actually do better than we do getting the information. But you as a parent, we would be able to add you as on the roll, or whether we did Canvas, you'd be able to access the information, return the information in one place. And
Tia, do you want me to share my screen, show them what our Canvas look like?
you can show them. We're still working on this. Remember, we worked all last year and through summer. And so we have the next 2 weeks to finish up all of our Canvas. So this is just, our work is going to be put in for the next 2 weeks, but you'll kind of see what we're doing.
Hank in chat asks, when is start end date for fall semester?
Start is August 17th, and the end of the semester, November. I don't have my calendar with me, but I can pull the information pretty soon. But let me share my screen.
I would do more fourth or fifth grade. Probably has more information on ours. Let's see.
Let me go to all courses.
How's your party?
And then share fourth grade. So this is how we organize teachers' files.
So yeah, if you guys see this here, the kids would come here to the home page and they would either click math, ELA, vocab, history, or science. And this would put them directly by age or by level and by content. If they needed to access the math, they would click the math, and then the math would take them to their math book and their math assignment. Same with ELA. Again, some kids need the hardcover book, so we're already preparing that in advance, but some kids like the technology and they excel in the technology. So then we link it and they would be linked to all of this. So if you click under any of them, then you're gonna see the spelling lists are listed there, the assignments are listed there. If you wanna click like a lesson 1, unit 1.
Lesson 1, unit Where? Oh, this
Third
one?
page, yeah, right there. Let me see if that's linked yet. I don't know if it's linked, but if it is linked, is it not linked? So once you see this, it would be, this is what they would be doing the first, not the first week of school, the second week of school, they'd be doing the lesson 1, unit 1. And growing up personal experience, that's what's in their book. So they would know, they would have their assignment, they would know what their spelling words are, they would know what their vocab words are, they would know what worksheets to be able to work on. And so we're trying to make it very user friendly. If they miss my class, they would be able to come onto Canvas or go onto Discord and know exactly what they're missing. They have access, actually, because Discord's on our phone, they have access to message me anytime they want to. And it is overlooked by parents because parents have access to Discord as well, and the kids have access to Discord. So it's not something that's, you know, being done. But all the files, if you look under the files, if you click under files, Dr. Wu, you're gonna see all of our textbooks are filed there. And so under ELA, let's see if they're linked yet. I'm pretty sure I linked them, but I'm not sure. So all of this, if you guys are looking for a book, we have the hardcover books, but if you're looking for a book, the book is right here. So a lot of the kids, they're just using it. Homework assignments, this is how they would get it, and they can print it out. So if they, you know, they can print it out and then they can use it. This was a writing assignment that we did. Math, they need the math. They can have the hard copy or they can just go online. There's a program called, and actually Jane, your daughter, was using it at Pantera. And you can just print this out right here, that page. You can screenshot the page and they do the work and they send it back. If you use Canvas, Canvas actually grades it for us. So we just review what the child needs to work on. But this is the book that they would get. Some kids prefer to do it online. So they take their iPad and they do the work and they submit it to me. Other kids, we make you can see right here. We make the hardcover books already because some kids, they do better hardcover. So because of that, you know, we do provide the books as well for our students, and we're already in preparation. We're starting that. But the parents will know ahead of time. So like this book here, if you look at the bottom, The Adventure of Ali Baba, on that lesson, it'll say lesson 1, blah, blah, blah. You'll know that the story is The Adventure of Ali Baba. We're working on cause and effect. Here are the spelling words. And so the parents, it will take you guys a couple weeks. But once we have our open house and we have our parent conferences, you will know exactly what level your child's on, and we follow a pattern. So though our project-based lessons are different, it follows the same pattern. When we have our test, when we do our Kahoots, we follow the same pattern, and it's generally the same kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade. So did we answer your question, Jeff?
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay, and then somebody else had a question. Was it, who was it? Barry mentioned somebody. Was it Richard who had a question?
I think it was answered by Dr. Boo. Hank asked.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, here's our schedule calendar. We will be going over our monthly calendar together the next 2 weeks. Okay, is it over? So we will be going over it the next 2 weeks.
There's actually a new question.
Oh, okay.
Marshmallow asks, everything will be the same as summer program, right? May I know who will be the 2nd grade and 5th grade teacher?
Okay, so it is not going to be quite the same. So the summer program, us teachers are still going to be here. But the program itself, the way we set it up, as we only did comprehension for that 1 hour. And our comprehension was, we did comprehension sheets and we reviewed, we did a little reading, we answered the questions. And so we did that every single day. In the school year, there is so much that the kids have to learn. We have to follow all the state standards. So therefore, instead of going over the comprehension sheets, we have to go over we go through a curriculum book, or we pull lessons to teach those same concepts. So it's the same teachers and we teach the same, but we actually have to teach the state standards. So it's not going to be as routine as it was during the summer. The teacher for Ryan, 5th grade, would be Barry and myself as of now. And for second grade, it would be Mr. James. He's a great teacher, and he would be teaching the second grade this year. When our class sizes gets too high, then we have to add on another teacher. And so Mr. James is actually the head of the lower elementary. And so he's gonna always oversee what the lower elementary is doing. And he'll always be part of what's going on from K to 2. And he's a primary, he'll just be in charge of the program. But there is a chance if we get too many kinders, too many first graders, too many second graders, then us as, you know, the administration, we have to choose where would he fit best. So we would want to say he's going to stay with second grade. He'll be there all year, but next year he might do first grade or kindergarten or third grade. And so these things change year to year based on the population of our students. So for second grade, it will be Mr. James, and for fifth grade, it will be Mr. Barry and myself. And again, 2 levels. If Sophie's at a third grade reading level, there's a chance she could be pulled up with another teacher because we want to make sure she's working at her level. And if she's at grade level, then, you know, so that would dictate who she has to.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and then second grade, if she does Chinese, there's a chance because she's right there on the border. Mr. James, you'll do it for the younger kids, right? So Leo Lausche is actually the mid-Chinese teacher. And so because she's native speaker, I would assume that she would be pulled up. And so she might be with Leo Lausche for Chinese too.
Okay, thank you.
We will let you guys stay informed. Before we make any big changes, we try to stay very like in a lot of communication with our parents, and we listen to their feedback too. So if there's something specific they want, we do try to listen to your guys' feedback, and we do what's best for the kids and as for the staff. But sometimes the teachers do change coding. If James is doing coding, great, but if he's not doing coding and the kids want coding, there's a good chance if they're in second, third grade or fourth grade, they want to be in our coding class, then Barry would be their coding teacher. Or some of the kids, if they're really advanced in Chinese, they'll be in Dr. Wu's Chinese class. But if they're struggling a little bit, or like it's their first year and they're in fifth grade and it's their first year in Chinese, we would put them in a, you know, we would try to put them in the level they need to be at to succeed.
And Ryan, please use benefit of being in a small class size. Somebody told me that my microphone quality sucks.
It's good now though.
Okay. Please take the opportunity in a small class size, trying to catch up or get ahead. You can do it in this fall. Yes, Miss. Okay. Any parents have questions?
Yes, Jeff asked in chat.
Okay, let's ask Jeff's question.
Jeff says, on the website, it mentions international trips, extracurricular and external volunteering opportunities. Will the school help in placing my child into these activities? Thinking more as the perspective of a parent who wants my child's application to college to be well-rounded.
Oh, very good, very good. Does anyone want to answer it? Because I'll answer all the questions. You guys know me.
Really? But I thought that's for the next section, 6 to 12. Great.
It is, but you know what? Even in elementary, James and I, we feel, okay, so for the trips, the international trips, that is not for the younger kids, because the younger kids, we try to do trips like inside California, then they go to Sacramento, then they go, like, you know, there's certain ages where they're ready emotionally to take trips away from parents. But saying that, last year, we want to give back to the community, and I get, so the international trips are for our older students. We do not take international trips. We don't expect kids to have passports. The only international trips they take is when they're visiting family during like the break. But we do believe in giving back to the community. And even actually, Jane, I've talked to you about this, you know, even our school last year, we made blessing bags and we gave it to 50 kids who were not able to stay at home with their families during the holidays. We went Christmas caroling just amongst our own community. We went and donated blankets to the shelter for the animals, we made a blanket, like we had the kids make a blanket and give it to, for 9/11, you know, we review 9/11, and we had them give them to our heroes. And it happened to be, we had parents, their parents we chose, but we gave a blanket and a card to the heroes, and all the kids wrote a letter thanking the heroes for going out and risking their lives. It was fire department and the police department. We went to the police. And so we really do, another one was we wanted to start like a garden to be able to give back to just people in need or whatnot. I'm trying to think of some of the other things we've done, but we've done so many, and every month we try to analyze something of the nature. I know, I think for the other one, it was, they did something for the women's shelter. But I feel like even my kids and Mr. James' kids, this Christmas time, we gave them the option to everyone decide to get a gift and do a gift exchange amongst each other, or to get a gift and give back. And all the kids decided, no, let's not buy gifts for ourselves. It was touching. Let's not do gifts for ourselves, but let's use that money to make the 50 blessing bags for, they're not orphan kids, they have families, but they weren't going home and they weren't going to be with their families for the holiday. Another one is they were going to do a whole Thanksgiving. We ended up having it at our new facility in Pomona, but they were going to do a whole Thanksgiving feast for the school. And they were going to serve the mash. And so like, we really do try to commit on giving back. When it comes to community services, we'll always have a list of what your child can do to give back, whether it's through like, you know, a kitchen pantry, you know, and we're open to those ideas. And being in such a small school, Jeff, I don't know who your child is, but they can always come to us. I know me, PTO Mom Jane, or Mr. James, and tell us their ideas, and we would really say, let's do this. You only need one person to make a difference in the world. So to say that we have these kids who are willing to give back, they're so eager and soaked up to be able to help others. They're really, at this age, they're so moldable. If we just mold them in the right directions to be strong, independent, they're willing to do anything. I know, talking to our, you know, we want to do it more of a PTO, so it's not just teacher-led, but we are talking about next year doing pen pals with the senior home, because you know the seniors right now, they're in quarantine, they're all by themselves, and so of course supervised by us, but we were going to do pen pals with different countries or different schools. But then we thought, hey, what about these people in the senior home? So we're like, oh, let's do something like that, where each senior that joins our program could be like with our students, and they can talk back and forth and maybe Zoom back and forth. We were doing like a brother sisterhood, where like our kids will have a role model of one of the junior high or high school under supervision, but at the same time be a mentor to somebody in Mr. James' classroom. And the kids will learn it's all about giving back. It's not about judging, it's all about helping. And they learn again by this example that we're giving them. And so, but it's a good question. We don't do outside, but I think doing like volunteer work, like helping out at the food bank, going to the shelters, we've done a lot of different things, but I would not be against doing something consistent. And I
would like to add something, Mrs. Ye. One thing is, parents, if you live far away from Pomona, don't worry about this. We, the teacher team, we are very creative. We, for example, last semester, Mrs. Ye even drive to our students' house for the garden. You have a gardening project, right? She drove to students' house and then just dropped seed and soil, right, in front of your house. And then your kid, have the, and then you can plant in your yard. So this is what we do for your children. So don't worry, even if you live far away, we always have something creative to help your child to learn and also participate some volunteer work, community work during this time.
Yeah, it was actually Earth Day, and we could pull it up, and we have a record of everything we do, but we do try to do a higher rigorous text. And because we have all the grades in such a small area, we don't mind moving up and down, but we really do care about the students, you know. We do, you know, and they care about us too. So, you know, not to be mean, but they do, they give us respect just because we're teachers. And I know it sounds bad. We don't even have to earn it. They just care for us already. So like, what kind of blessing is that, right? I know, like,
that's why we Orion, a small school, we don't want to be big. We are happy to be what we are now. Yes, we do plan to grow, but then whatever we have, we are blessed. We appreciate, but then we want to do well with what we have now.
yeah.
Any more questions, parents?
Sorry it kept you guys long. I always do that.
I mean,
I see 2 questions in the chat.
Yeah, 2 questions in the chat. So one from Elvis, which asks, how many students in one class?
Okay, so for the students, there won't be more than 10 students per class. As of now, we don't have all of our registration in. And so therefore, next week, the next 2 weeks, we're gonna focus on our fall. And that's what all the schools do, and all the school teachers is kind of like, what class is my kid gonna be in yet? We don't know. Next 2 weeks is gonna be where all the teachers buckle down, work 80 hours a week to get everything done. And it's like this anywhere you go, Pantera, Diamond Bar, Walnut. And so, but we won't have more than 10 students in the class. For my kids, and I know we don't have more than 10, I've never had more than 10. During like the summertime, like to me, I feel like I can handle more than 10. Why? Because it's not just me. I have Barry helping me out, Dr. Wu helping me out. And so to me, we will never do what the parents are uncomfortable with or what we're not uncomfortable with, but there will never be more than 10 kids in the class. And there's always enough staff. We're overstaffed. At this point, we're overstaffed. When it comes to TK class, our TK class, everybody, when they start kinder, remember, kinder is not mandatory for students. Kids technically don't have to start school till 1st grade. I would never do that, but by law, it's an age or 1st grade. When we do our TK, our kinders are learning the same thing that some kids learn in TK. So they're learning to write their letters, the sounds, the alphabets. So what I suggest for kids that start kinder, we had 3 kids, James, was it 3 kids that were, they were TK students, right? TK students, they started our kinder program. And they all are going up to 1st grade, and 2 of them are the ones that are reading chapter books. So they should not have started out of kinder. We can allow them to start as a kinder. Why? Because we're a private school. And so therefore, they started as a private school. They are younger, but again, when you're a TK student and a kinder student, you're learning the same things. You're learning the alphabet, you're learning the sounds. And we've already talked about how we're gonna guide our program, and it's gonna be similar to last year, that if you have a 4-year-old who's reading a chapter book, we're not gonna keep them in the kinder level. We're gonna pop them up with the 1st grade level. And if you have a 1st grader who's struggling in reading, that's okay. Then we pop them down in the kinder level until they master that skill of sounds, writing, phonics. So in this case, kinder, we don't offer a TK program. We don't offer a preschool program. What I would suggest is Tammy did offer reading classes for them, but we don't have a program for them. What we do suggest though is you enroll your child under our kindergarten. If we will show you their progress, we meet with you, we assess all of our kids, we tell you their levels. Every child gets a goal in every class. So they have a goal in reading, they have a goal in writing, they have a goal in science. And if they're meeting their goals, then we just move them to the 1st grade. And if by any chance the parents want them to be more mature, they can hold them back at any time. But again, it's not unheard of in my 5th grade reading group, I had a 3rd grader in my class. And it's not unheard of for us to do stuff like that. And I also, though, in my 3rd grade, had a 5th, 6th grader. It's okay. All the kids learn in our school. They don't notice. Us as parents, we want our kids to be the best. We want our kids to thrive. But our kids are really humble. They're not, and they follow our example. They're not judging other kids like, oh, you're in that level. Ooh, you're in that level. Ooh, no, we want them to strive to be the best in all the areas. So it's not like, ooh, I'm with the kindergartner. Ooh, no, it's not like that at all. And if it is, it's not going to be like that more than one day, because we squash that stuff quick. But what I would suggest for our TK students, I know, I think I know what parent it is. Oh no, it's not the same parent as I thought it was. But I would suggest popping them into our kinder program. And if they can move on, like I don't think we had any of our TK, none of our TK students are staying in kinder, right? Every TK student who started in kinder, is moving on to the first grade. And like I said, there was 3 of them, I believe, and 2 of them are reading chapter books. So yay, James, you did an amazing job with them.
Yeah, so at Orion, really everything is about your child, your children's level. We work with their level. We don't work with their grade.
Yeah, they should be able to, they're 4 right now, they're gonna be 5. Yeah, they can start.
Oh.
My daughter actually has a September 20th birthday. And I did the same thing for her. I like put her in early and I put her in a private school early, right? And so like right now she's in the 3rd grade and she's 8. And not only is she 8, 3rd grade, she's doing the 4th grade curriculum.
Okay.
Now she's going to 4th grade.
This is Elvis. Elvis has question. Yes.
I have questions. If they want to go into the school, do they need to do an assessment test?
Okay, so for all of our kids, we'll get an extensive assessment. You guys might not like it. We like showing what we teach our kids, and we like being accountable. So what we do is we assess them, but we're not assessing them to say, you have to know your alphabet or you can't go to our school. We don't do that. So is that what you mean? Like all of your kids will be assessed. If your Elvis joins our school, he will be assessed in word decoding, word fluency, lexile, math, but that won't dictate whether we accept your child or not.
Our assessment is let us and also parents know where your child is at. And then each month, we want to let you know your child's progress.
Oh, for my daughter, she's a 2nd grade. She's going to 2nd grade. So I just want to know. Yeah.
Okay, so for her going to 2nd grade, we would give her the assessment. So within the first, before we have our parent conference with you, we will give her a test in math, word decoding, word fluency, and lexile, and writing probably too, but writing. And so based on those 5 things, we will make a PLP plan for her to say, this is what we want for your child. This is what we're gonna do for your child. And then we will pull you in and give goals for each subject matter. Does that make sense? And then it'll be more like of a team. So then every time we sit with you, we're gonna say, did they make their goal? Did they not make their goal? If they didn't make their goal, was it something we need to do different with the child? Is it something we need to give support at home? Is it something we need to give support at school? And what do we need to change to make this child succeed? So if she's ahead in her reading, we would know the first month of school. And then we would say, oh, she's ahead, let's put her, and that's why I said, if she's not with Mr. James, we're gonna have to put her with the 3rd grade group. So she may not be with Mr. James then. Where if she's behind, then we would put her in the reading group where she would belong at. And you know what, this summer, who was in my program? I know Hannah was in my program and Ryan was in my program. And I don't know about the other parents because I can't see their face. But with my students, we had kids from 3rd grade to 5th grade. There was even some 2nd graders where it was like, oh, you could try my class because it's based on the material, and we would just show them the material. If you think your kid can do it, it might be hard. My opinion I'll give, but of course parents have a say. And if it was too hard, some of my kids actually went with Mr. James, right? Mr. James, 2 of my students for reading and writing, my class was just too hard and too rigorous. We didn't want to pull down all the kids. These kids aren't poor, it was just they weren't at that level. So we put them in Mr. James for 2 of the classes. And it's not a big deal to us. Like I feel like it's good for the kids to know their weaknesses and their strengths. Sorry,
Did we answer the question, do you offer any classes for TK students?
Yes, that's the one I was saying.
Okay, good.
As a private school, we are here to help your children to catch up and also get ahead, like Mrs. ESA. If you are in Orion and then we bump you up 1 grade, say next school year, your homeschool reopen. When they transfer back, I think they automatically bump 1 grade too, right?
So here's what happens. First, we don't bump up grades often because we will only bump up your kid's grade if they're in the top 90th percentile in reading, writing, math. But we've done it. I think last year we had 2 kids and they really surprised me. In my class, I had 1 kid who bumped up. He's in the 90th percentile. We bumped him up a grade. He is still in the 90th percentile. Would I bump him up again? I don't know. Could he be bumped up again? Yes. It's something that his parents would have to think about. If he went down back to the public school, he would go into the school that we had him in. For our TK students, It would not work that way. Hi, Ryan. It would not work that way. They would have to stay with us until they were in 2nd or 3rd grade because they go based on age. So for like, say Elvis joined us and he's a TK student, he would have to probably be with us 1 or 2 years because the school uses birthdays to put them in the class. But I do know for Willow, she bumped up and she was able to go. She started early. Her birthday, September 20th. She started early. She shouldn't have been in school. She went to Pantera because I was like, oh, I want her in a dual immersion program. And they accepted her. And she was just they just took her. So she was able to go right away. I just don't want to guarantee that all schools would do that because I know Corona Norco, they would have put her in the grade she's supposed to be in. But once you're in 3rd grade, they can't do it by law. They have to honor what Orion says. We're certified school, we're certified teachers. They can't just say, oh, we're not going to listen to what they say and we're going to hold them back. So after 3rd grade, they know how to read, the write. We have the tests for them. They would put them back in the grade we told them to put them in.
All right. It's already 3:06. Parents, please feel we appreciate your time with us this past hour. We hope we give you enough information for you to make decision if you are enrolling your child to Orion this fall. After this section, if you still have questions, please feel free to contact your teacher, Mrs. Ye, Miss James, or me. Again, we are here to support your child's education. We really want your child to do well, regardless if they are here with us or they are in whatever your decision is. We hope all the best for your children during this time.
I know it's already taking up so much of your time, you guys. I'm so sorry. But here's one thing too, is if you guys do decide to go to the public school, know that even if you guys are trying us just for virtual learning, you guys can always swap back to the public school. You're not obligated. We would want you to commit for the year. But one thing you want to know is once you guys start the public school, depending how it works, because I think with everyone, it's going to be different, 4 hours instruction, 2 hour instruction. Please feel free to always come back and reconsider us, even if it's within the first 2-3 weeks of school. If you want to rip out your hair and, hit the wall, feel free to give us a call, and there's no hard feelings. We understand that, there's a lot of options. So we want you guys to consider us and join us. But if you guys try the public school and then want to come back later on, we won't laugh too hard when you rip out your hair. Just kidding.
Okay, all right. So I'd like to thank you again. And teachers, thank you for being here and answer all the questions. So I guess bye. Have a good weekend.